Hello, everyone. Welcome to Astral Card Vault. Let's see what's going on with this person. Why are they angry? Why are they hurt? And why are they still so drawn to you? Okay, first card coming through is the Star. And wait, because this changes the whole reading already. This person is not just angry. They are angry because some part of them still sees you as the thing they were hoping for. The Star is not a cold card. It is not indifferent. This is the energy of someone trying to act like they are above the situation, trying to act healed, trying to act spiritually unbothered, but emotionally, no. There is a storm behind the curtain. They may be telling themselves, I'm fine, I'm moving on, I don't need to say anything. But here's the strange part. If they were truly detached, your silence would not bother them this much. Your distance would not feel like a wound. Your happiness would not feel like proof that they lost something. This person feels exposed by you. The Star has this naked honesty to it, symbolically speaking, and I feel like you saw through them in a way most people do not. You may have seen their ego, their fear, their control issues, their emotional immaturity, but you also saw the soft place underneath all of that. And now they are angry because they feel known. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They are hurt because they expected you to come back and pour into them again. They expected you to reassure them. They expected you to chase, explain, fix, soften, forgive, and for some of you, that part did not happen. You pulled your energy back. You stopped feeding the emotional bonfire, and now they are sitting there, staring at the ashes, pretending they are not cold. The Star also tells me they still have hope. They may deny it. They may act sharp, distant, sarcastic, even icy. But underneath that, there is a quiet little wish still glowing. They wonder if you think about them. They wonder if you miss them. They wonder if someone else is receiving the tenderness they fumbled. Let me clarify that, because there's something deeper here. Why are they so angry if the Star is here because you are healing, and they can feel it? And as we move into the next layer, this Five of Swords shows me why that healing is hitting them in such a sharp way. Because this card is not peaceful. This is not someone sitting in their feelings with maturity, saying, okay, I'm hurt, let me understand this. No, this is someone who feels like there has to be a winner and a loser. Someone who may be telling themselves, fine, if you can pull away. I can pull away harder. But here's the strange part. They are not winning. They are performing victory while feeling emotionally defeated. This person may be acting like they have the upper hand, but inside, they feel like your healing took something from them. Not because you actually attacked them, not because you did something cruel, but because your peace is making their chaos louder. Your silence is forcing them to sit with the fact that they no longer have the same access to you, and that is what is triggering them. The Five of Swords can be this energy of harsh words, ego battles, resentment, someone replaying what was said, what was not said, who walked away first, who looked colder, who seemed less affected. This person is keeping score emotionally. They may be thinking, you gave up on me, but wait, because this changes the whole reading. I don't think you simply gave up. I think many of you got tired. Tired of explaining your heart to someone who kept treating your softness like something they could spend and replace later. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They feel left behind. They feel like you found a way to breathe without them. And a part of them does not know what to do with that. So instead of saying, I miss you, they turn it into anger. Instead of saying, I'm scared you're done, they turn it into blame instead of saying, I didn't think you would actually choose yourself. They tell themselves you are cold. This is grief wearing armor. They are grieving the version of you that kept coming back, the version of you that made things easier for them, the version of you that absorbed the tension so they did not have to face themselves. But let me clarify that, because there's something deeper here. Why do they feel betrayed when all you may have done is pull your energy back? So why do they feel betrayed? Okay. The Lover's coming through now, and this makes that question even more personal. Because the Lovers is not just about romance here, it is about choice. It is about the moment where someone realizes love is not just a feeling, it is also a decision. And I feel like this person is upset because Somewhere in their mind, they thought you had already chosen them forever, even if they were inconsistent, even if they were difficult, even if they pushed you away, tested you, made you question yourself, left you guessing, or acted like your emotions were too much. They still expected your loyalty to stay sitting at their doorstep. But here's the strange part. They may have mistaken your love for unlimited access. They may have thought, they care about me, so they'll come back. They always understand me. They always soften eventually. And with the lovers here, your decision to stop overgiving feels like a rejection to them, even if for you, it was self-protection. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They feel like you chose yourself over them. And logically, maybe they know why. Maybe deep down they know they made it hard for you to keep choosing this connection without losing pieces of yourself. But emotionally, they are sitting in this wounded place like. So that's it, you're just done, you're just gonna pull your love away. This is where it gets interesting, because the lovers can also show that they still feel a strong bond. They are not as detached as they want to seem. There is still chemistry here, still memory, still longing, still that strange pull where even when they are angry, they are thinking about what your voice sounds like, what your presence felt like, how it felt when things were good, but instead of admitting, I miss the connection, they may be saying, you betrayed me. Let me clarify that because there's something deeper here. They are silent, but emotionally they are loud. They are blaming you, but part of them knows they mishandled things. They are acting wounded, but they may have helped create the wound they are now bleeding from. And the hardest part for their ego is that you are not rushing in to bandage it. And with the lovers here, there is another layer. They may be wondering if your choice was not just yourself, but someone else. Now that thought leads us straight into the world, because this is where their minds start spinning. The world is completion. It is distance. It is the feeling of a chapter closing, or at least looking like it is closing. And for this person, that may be exactly what they are afraid of. They may be looking at you and thinking, they're really moving into a new life. They're really becoming someone I might not have access to anymore. But here's the strange part. They may not have actual proof that there is another person. They may only have pieces, a post, a smile, a new outfit, a new place, a comment they didn't like, a name they keep seeing, somebody liking your picture a little too quickly, somebody reacting to you, somebody standing near you, and suddenly their mind turns into a whole courtroom with no evidence, just emotion banging the gavel. This person may be watching more than they want to admit. The world can talk about visibility, being seen, being out there, being connected. So for some of you, they are looking at your social media, your stories, your comments, your likes, your reposts, who follows you, who you follow, who seems familiar, who seems new. They may be checking whether you changed your energy online. Are you glowing? Are you quiet? Are you posting more? Are you posting less? Are you trying to get someone's attention? And wait, because this changes the whole reading. They may be misreading your healing as replacement. They see you becoming whole, and their wounded mind says, someone else must be making them happy. They see you looking lighter, and they think. So I was the problem. They see you not chasing, and they think, they don't care anymore. But underneath that jealousy, there is fear. Fear that you are no longer emotionally waiting in the same place they left you. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They are angry, but they miss you, hurt, but checking, jealous, but pretending they are not even looking. They may say they don't care who you talk to, but their nervous system is absolutely keeping attendance, and with the world here. The deeper trigger is this: you look like you are entering a chapter where they are not the center anymore. Let me clarify that because there's something deeper here. The real block is not that they have nothing to say. The real block is pride, and that pride gets quieter with the Hermit. But it does not get lighter, because this is not someone rushing forward with everything they feel. This is someone pulling back, going silent, acting unreachable, acting like they are in control because they are not speaking. But here's the strange part. Silence is not always peace. Sometimes silence is a room where every thought echoes twice. This person wants to say something, I do feel that. But they cannot stand the idea of you knowing how affected they are. They cannot stand the thought of sending a message and waiting to see if you answer. They cannot stand the possibility that you might look at their name on your screen and feel nothing. That would bruise something in them they are trying very hard to protect. So they hide in this hermit energy. They watch from a distance. They think from a distance. They analyze from a distance. They may be telling themselves they are taking space, but emotionally, this feels more like retreating because they do not know how to approach you without revealing that you still matter. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. And I don't think they expected to feel this way. I think they expected your silence to make them feel powerful. Like, okay, they're not talking, so I won't talk either. But now the silence has stretched long enough that it has started turning on them. It is no longer making them feel in control. It is making them wonder what you know, what you feel, what you decided, and whether they waited too long. The hermit can also be a mirror, and right now, your calmness is reflecting back their emotional instability. You are not giving them a reaction to fight with. You are not giving them tears to feel important. You are not giving them panic to prove they still have influence over you, and that is bothering them more than they want to admit. They wanted to control the emotional temperature of this connection. Hot when they wanted passion, cold when they wanted distance, confusing when they wanted the upper hand. But your silence changed the thermostat. Now they are sitting in a room they did not design, and they do not like how it feels. They want you to break first, but wait. Because this changes the whole reading the longer you do not. The more they are forced to face something underneath the anger. This is not just pride. This is regret, and once that regret starts moving, the Knight of Wands shows how restless it becomes. This is not quiet regret where someone just sits still and accepts what happened. No, this is pacing energy. This is checking the phone, putting it down, picking it back up. This is almost texting and then deleting it. This is wanting to rush in, but then remembering their pride, wanting to explain but not wanting to look like they care too much, wanting your attention, but also wanting to punish you for not giving it first. This person may be replaying things they said when they were heated, their last message, their tone, the moment they acted like they did not care, the moment they thought being cold would make you chase harder. And now, with the Knight of Wands here, I feel like they are realizing they may have moved too impulsively. They may have let pride drive the car while their heart was still in the back seat, completely unbuckled. They may have said, "I'm done." They may have acted like they were choosing freedom. They may have told someone else, "No, I'm not worried about them." But here's the strange part. Their energy is not free. It is still circling you. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They are irritated because they remember how much passion was here, the chemistry, the pull, the way you could get under their skin without even trying. And I think that bothers them because they cannot just file this connection away as nothing. They cannot convince themselves it was casual. They cannot make their body forget what their ego is trying to deny. The Knight of Wands can be someone who acts first and understands later, and that feels very important. They may have assumed you would always stay open, always forgive, always leave a light on somewhere for them. But now, they are looking back at the way they handled you, and there is regret around not protecting the wish when it was still in their hands. They may be venting too, to a friend, to themselves, in the car, in the shower, late at night, saying they are angry, saying you changed, saying you are acting different, but underneath all that noise, there is one quieter truth. They miss who you were with them before you had to protect yourself from them. And wait, because this changes the whole reading. They may be angry at you for becoming the version of yourself they actually needed, but did not appreciate when you were right there. The fear is not just losing you for now. The fear is losing access forever. And that fear of losing access brings us into the Four of Cups, where everything becomes even more complicated. Because this is someone sitting in emotional dissatisfaction, but pretending they are just bored, pretending they are just uninterested, pretending the offer in front of them does not matter. But look at the energy of this card. There is something being offered, something floating there, something still available in the emotional space. And yet this person is acting like they cannot see it. That is what makes this so frustrating. They want reassurance, but they may reject the very moment where reassurance could happen. They want to know you still care, but if you came toward them too openly, they might act guarded. They want the door open, but they do not want to be the one standing there looking hopeful. This is where it gets interesting, because the Four of Cups can be someone who is afraid they missed their chance. But instead of admitting that, they sulk, they withdraw, they become moody, they tell themselves nothing is good enough. But underneath that emotional stubbornness, there is this fear that one final shift from you could make this impossible to repair. One final decision, one final boundary, one final moment where you stop hoping they will understand. And I feel like that scares them more than they are willing to say. They may be wondering, what if they don't feel the same anymore? What if they healed past me? What if I come back and they look at me differently? What if I am no longer the person they want? And again, that is not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They are torn. Part of them wants to come in. Part of them wants to stay hidden. Part of them wants you to reach out so they do not have to risk rejection. Part of them is almost angry that you are not reading their mind and rescuing them from their own silence. Let me clarify that because there's something deeper here. This person may be trying to pull you back energetically without actually speaking, thinking about you over and over, replaying memories, looking at old messages, watching for signs that you still care, hoping you suddenly feel the urge to reach out first, almost like they want the connection to move without them having to take responsibility. But the Four of Cups also tells me their dissatisfaction is getting heavy. So when they do make a move, it may look casual on the surface, but underneath it, no, it will not be casual at all. And that is exactly why the Five of Pentacles comes in next. Because the casual message may be coming from a place of feeling shut out. This person may not say that. They may not come in saying, I feel abandoned, I feel left behind, I feel like you closed the door on me. No. They may come in with something tiny, something almost ridiculous compared to the size of what they are actually feeling. They may react to a story. They may like something after being quiet for a while. They may ask a practical question like nothing happened. Hey, did you still have that? How have you been? I saw something and thought of you? Or they may appear somewhere they know you might notice them, just to see if your energy turns toward them. But here's the strange part. The Five of Pentacles is not small energy. It is emotional coldness. It is feeling outside of the warmth. It is someone looking through the window at a place they used to belong and wondering if they are still allowed in. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They want to know if the door is still open, but they do not want to knock too hard. They want closeness, but they fear vulnerability. They want control, but they are losing composure. They want a clean, smooth entry, but their emotions are tangled behind them like a drawer full of old wires. And I feel like if they reach out, they may try to make it look accidental, like they just happened to think of you, like it is no big deal, like their finger just slipped onto your profile, just slipped onto your story, just slipped into a message box. But emotionally, no. This has been building. Let me clarify that because there's something deeper here. The Five of Pentacles can also show someone feeling like they do not have enough to offer. So part of their delay may not just be pride, it may be shame. They may know they cannot come back with the same behavior, the same excuses, the same half-open heart, and expect you to welcome them like nothing happened. Wait, because this changes the whole reading. They may be afraid that you have outgrown what they are prepared to give. So when they come forward, they may test the temperature first. Not a confession, not the whole truth. A small signal in the dark, and when they do, they may be wearing a poker face, and that poker face becomes clearer with the Page of Wands, because this is the kind of energy that may look light, playful, almost harmless. This is the kind of energy where someone sends something small enough to deny later, a little message, a reaction, a joke, a hey stranger. This reminded me of you. Something that does not look emotionally loaded if anyone else saw it. But between the two of you, you would know. You would feel the little spark hiding inside it. Because the Page of Wands is curious. It tests. It pokes the fire to see if there is still heat under the ash. And I feel like this person may come forward calm, brief, maybe even a little detached. But underneath, no. Underneath, Their emotions are not organized. They are not coming in from this perfectly healed, balanced place. They are coming in because something in them cannot stay away completely. But here's the strange part. They may try to make the message feel casual because they are terrified of making it feel honest. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. I keep getting this energy of only you, like no matter how angry they are, no matter who they talk to, no matter how much they try to distract themselves, something keeps bringing their attention back to you. And then there is watching, very strong, watching your energy, watching your movement, watching to see if you seem softer, colder, happier, busy, unavailable. Then there is this obsessed energy, but not always in a loud way. Sometimes obsession looks like checking and pretending it was random, thinking about what they would say if you reached out, imagining conversations that never happen, reading your silence like it is a message written directly to them. And with this Page of Wands, I do feel pleasant message. But again, pleasant does not mean simple. Pleasant does not mean shallow. Pleasant may be the costume. The real emotion underneath is messy. Wait, because this changes the whole reading. Their calmness may be a strategy, not peace. They may be manifesting without calling it that, hoping you feel them, hoping you miss them, hoping the passion is still there, hoping any competition has not taken the place they still secretly think belongs to them. So if they come in with a poker face, do not assume they feel nothing. The deeper truth is not just that they miss you. The attachment never left. And now the King of Cups brings that deeper truth all the way to the surface, even if this person is still trying to hold it down. Because the King of Cups does not always scream. He does not always chase. He does not always throw the cup across the floor and say, "Look at what I feel." Sometimes this is someone sitting on an ocean of emotion, trying to keep their face still, trying to look composed, trying to be mature, controlled, unreadable, but underneath there is water everywhere. And this is why the attachment never left. This person may be angry, yes, hurt, yes, defensive, yes. But the King of Cups tells me they still have feelings they have not fully expressed. They may be trying to manage those feelings, contain them, almost put them somewhere where nobody can see the mess. But emotions do not disappear just because someone sits on a throne and pretends they are above them. That's not what they're showing you, but it is what they're feeling. They may blame you on the surface. They may say you changed. They may say you stopped caring. They may tell themselves you were cold, distant, unfair, or too quick to let go. But deep down, there is a part of them that knows they lost control of the situation. And not just control over you, control over the version of the story where they get to be completely innocent. That is the harder part. Because the King of Cups can hold a lot in silence: regret, love, pride, longing, fear. And I feel like this person is trying to keep all of that beneath the surface. But your healing keeps disturbing the water. Every time you seem okay. Every time you do not chase. Every time you keep moving. It reminds them that you can survive without them. And wait, because this changes the whole reading. That may be what they are truly angry at. Not just the silence, not just the distance, not just the possibility of someone else. They are angry because your healing proves they were not the source of your life. They were part of your story. Yes, maybe a very deep part, maybe a part you genuinely loved, but they were not the whole sky. And I do feel compassion here, because this person is not just some cartoon villain sitting there plotting. Their emotions are complicated. They may be hurt because they feel rejected or replaced. They may be angry because they still care. They may still be crazy about you because the emotional attachment never actually left their system. But use your discernment. Let actions matter. Let consistency matter. Let emotional maturity matter. Because feelings are powerful, but they are not the same as repair. So this is what I'm seeing for you. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching Astral Card Vault, and I'll see you in the next reading.